my happy readers, it's Shed Time Stories with Issy. Are you ready to share a new story? Well, I have chosen one from the Roopert Snoopert series. The title is Roopert Snoopert's Day Out at the Seaside. If you have this book at home, you can read along with me. The author, the person who has written this story, is Paul Micklewright. And the illustrator, the person who has drawn all the pictures, is Sarah-leigh Wills. Now, we've met Roopert Snoopert from Noseyrudesville before, and we know he loves getting up to mischief. I wonder what he's going to get up to at the seaside. Shall we read and find out? Roopert Snoopert's Day Out at the Seaside. The alarm clock buzzed and woke Roopert from his sleep. It was 9 o'clock. Beep, beep, beep. Outside, he could see the bright, shining sun. A very nice day for mischief and fun. He hopped out of bed and shouted, "Hip, hip, hooray! I'm going on a seaside adventure today!" Showing off his new t-shirt with a zebra on the back, he raced downstairs for a Roopert Snoopert snack. "It will take me a while to get to the coast. I think I'll have some yummy broccoli on toast." He brushed his teeth to make them shine, then looked at his watch. "It's 9:30. Mischief at the seaside time." He got his favourite bucket and spade for his time on the sand, and a bright blue towel with a bright yellow band. On went his sunglasses and a red-coloured hat. As he scurried to the bus stop, he smiled like a Cheshire cat. The bus to the seaside, well, it came straight away, and Roopert hopped on for a very mischievous day. He arrived at the beach and hopped over the wall, then watched some boys that were playing with a ball. He dug a deep hole way down in the sand, then covered it over with a blanket at hand. As Roopert got changed, he watched with delight as a boy fell through the blanket and went right out of sight into the big hole that had been made by his very own favourite spade. This made Roopert snort and howl, but in all the commotion, he dropped his blue towel. The whole beach laughed. There was no hush. No one had ever seen a bunny rabbit blush. All embarrassed, he scurried off further along the beach, knowing there was lots more mischief in reach. He came to the water sports, and dearie me, when the man wasn't looking, he took a jet ski. Off he shot out to sea with a blast. But Roopert Snoopert was going way too fast. He hit a big wave and fell into the sea, and off in the distance floated his jet ski. Roopert was having such a lark until he thought he was being watched by a shark. He swam as fast as he could to get out of the sea. "I don't want those enormous teeth in me." "It might be time for me to go." This was reminding him of his time on Pluto. He got out of the sea after a very close shave, but was somehow still wanting to misbehave. Some children were playing in a nearby rockpool. Roopert went over with Mischief the rule. He scurried off quickly with their net, which left the children feeling very upset. At the next rockpool, a big smile was on show, excited by what he might find down below. Suddenly, Roopert let out a loud squeal. Something had decided his toe was a meal. Roopert's fun time had now turned very drab, because on the end of his toe was a really big crab. He hopped on one foot as his toe started throbbing, and at that moment in time, he felt very much like sobbing. The children's sadness had now turned to joy as Roopert hopped around like on a pogo stick toy. He thought it was time for a nice seaside treat, as it was getting rather hot in the afternoon heat. He decided it was fun to shout, "Shark!" It would seem. Everyone panicked. Children started to scream. Roopert knew he'd not been nice, and in all the commotion, he took a choc ice. Roopert hobbled along the sand, waving the choc ice like he was conducting a band. He passed a young girl playing with a kite. Then he started blowing raspberries to the left and to the right, upsetting lots of people laying down in the sun, stopping them having their seaside fun. But all of a sudden, and to all their delight, Roopert disappeared and went right out of sight into the big hole that had been made by his very own favourite spade. The whole beach erupted. They cheered and they laughed, and down in the hole, Roopert had never felt so daft. By the time he had eventually dug himself out, it was all very dark and there was no one about. He sang a little ditty as he sat on the late night bus home. "I'm Roopert Snoopert from Noseyrudesville, and I live on top of a hill next to a big windmill. Causing lots of mischief at the seaside today is not very kind for those wanting to play. If I had been nicer, then I definitely might have been in a lot earlier than midnight. That is the lesson that I've learned for today anyway." Oh, what a fun story that was! Roopert Snoopert most certainly does like to get up to mischief, and he did just that at the seaside. I did like it at the end when he sang his little ditty, and he maybe realised he should have been nicer to everyone there, and he thinks he's learned his lesson for today anyway. I wonder if in the next story he will still cause mischief. Now, at the back of this book, there is a fun Spot the Difference game, and do look out for the other Roopert Snoopert books. I hope you've enjoyed today's Shed Time story, and if you want to, you can like, share, follow and subscribe to Shed Time Stories. Then you will be ready for the next book for us to share together. Bye-bye.